Hello, 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 and welcome to another Mirta Watches The Sims Sparked Submissions episode. Today, it's all about the submissions that came from Twitter, aka I went to Twitter, I searched, I kinda went for the top rankings, however, a lot of these didn't even have likes or anything. It's just that when Twitter doesn't have enough upvoted entries, it will start showing you entries that do not have any upvotes. Regardless, these kind of videos are a lot more watched than what I presented to you the last time, which if you haven't seen, the link will be in the description down below. The last time we went for all of the entries that were a bit too slow to submit because of the EA's infamous error that didn't allow a lot of people to submit. We have 9 entries once again, because that makes for a decently long video. And we're starting this from DramtiSim's Family Ties, Love and Tragedy. Gramps, I really love her. I'm going to propose today. It's about time. She's a lovely lady. I'm glad I'm around to see this day. I'll wear my best suit for the big day. Jesleen, I love you and I want to spend life with you. Will you marry me? Yes. Love you, babe. Miss you so much. Don't worry about the wedding plans. I have everything under control. You focus on work. You're amazing. He looks so sad doing that music or whatever he's doing. Jake, it's your grandpa. He's very sick. You need to get here now. What's going on? How sick is he? Is he going to make it? Please tell me. Okay, I'm on my way. See you soon. It really bothers me how Sims go through a door instead of actually using it. I missed you so much. Me too, babe. I'm so sorry. You're here now, and I can't wait to marry you. I feel like these shots are so hard to do in live mode. Especially considering that everybody always gets in front of your camera. No, not a Plumbob. Thank you all for celebrating with us. I want to take a moment to celebrate an important man in my life. Here's to Gramps. I wish you were here. I do love the build. It's a very pretty venue. Dedicated to my papa, Dave White. Aw, I hope that your papa's still alive. I don't think the description says anything. But yes, it's a lovely short story about Jake that found a person to marry, but his grandfather never made it to the wedding. Fairly simplistic, but very good production value. Nice music, overall, really nice shots. I just kind of wish that more Simish elements didn't get in the way, such as... It irks me when Sims pass through objects, like the door, instead of using the door. That's kind of onto the game, but it doesn't look right. Seeing Plumbob's kind of annoying as well, or the whole groupie thing that happens on the head, because once again, it just takes you out of the story. I wish that there was a way in the game to make sure that the collision with objects was a bit better, and a way to disable these elements without using in-game camera. There are of course mods for that, but you can't really expect people to mod. Either way, a very lovely story. Very nice. And moving to April Darks, Defending Love. If someone had told me a year ago that at that moment, when I'm standing here staring at this beautiful ocean, I don't talk to my parents anymore. Very interesting to do a machinima with Simlish voiceover. Quite an interesting stylistic choice. I suppose it's better than not having any voiceover at all. Well, I wouldn't believe it. Because how is that possible to lose two of the most important people in your life in one moment? You would have done something really awful, right? What happened, hun? What if my parents won't accept us? You know my mother. She only cares of what other people think. And the situation here is really difficult now. We will find a way to be together, and you know about our plan B. We can move out to my parents. Yes, but I don't want to leave my family. Your parents live far away from here. I know you love them, but you can't control what they think about us. You should tell them that we are together first, and then tell them about the wedding. One step at a time. They will need some time to accept us. Thanks, I know what I will do. Sadly, my concerns have been confirmed. My mother's words left me heartbroken, and my father seemed to be disappointed. The situation quickly became very tense. So I decided to move out with my love to Oasis Springs, where her parents lived. We decided to get married there. It was the happiest day of my life. That moment, my parents decided to come to our wedding party. It was a big surprise for us both. They told me that they loved me so much and they apologized for their behavior. Everything was perfect, and I could finally live happily with my wife. With the only love. Oh, that was another very sweet and simplistic story. I feel like it was shot in the wrong aspect ratio. I'm gonna assume that the person actually used the in-game system to shoot it. So when you render it to HD, you just have this kind of window inside the whole screen. But it's okay. Very colorful. Nice dresses. One of the brides, I kind of mistook them for the mother at the start because she referred to the other one as Hun, and because it's very hard to infer ages in The Sims 4, but that's not the fault of the machinima creator. I am happy that this couple worked out their problems with the parents and that everything was lovely once again. Moving to OctoBinx, Love and Lobola. Oh wow!
It begins with the lovers, Sifiso and Tandy. They're ready to spend the rest of their lives together. But if he wants her hand in marriage, he'll need to ask for her father's permission.
I am sorry, but to have an African-themed set in The Sims 4 is so difficult. So the moment I saw it, I was like, whoa! good on you for building that, and good on you for downloading all those clothes to dress the Sims in, because that is some impressive set building.
Horn with a sheep.
But he's not the only one interested. Marcus Flex is also on the prowl. Chief Tata declares that the ancient tradition of Lobola must be honored. The suitor that presents him with the most impressive livestock will win Tandi's hand. And it's not going to be easy. Luckily, Sifiso has a plan. Marcus's first offering is not appreciated. The second gift? Still no.
So rabbits and roosters.
Sure to ruffle some feathers. Tandi's grandmother is the village Sangoma, a witch doctor. She tells Sifiso where he can find what he seeks. Marcus is back. Third time lucky, perhaps? Maybe not. Maybe Sifiso will fare better. The family rejoice. Tata has given Sifiso his blessing. But not everyone is happy.
Alanila.
Sifiso and Tandi are married the next day in a great celebration, and love is all around.
I like the idea of you requiring to get permission for the handed marriage and it being through sacrifice. And the guy tried roosters, rabbits, then flamingos, while the other one grew some cow plants. I'm actually wondering, are they supposed to represent real cows, or is this like supposed to just represent cow plants? Either way, really well set, very whimsical. One of my favorites! That was a very enjoyable story. It's really good production value, and the fact that they managed to do an African set inside The Sims 4, the game that's not meant for you to have imaginary sets, that is absolutely, that's props to the person. OctoBinx, you deserve a lot more views on this and a lot more subscribers for that. Moving on to Jenkeball, Destination Wedding, Different Waters.
Otto was struggling. A lot. He broke up with his girlfriend 6 months ago. He hated his job as a test subject. And his apartment? Well, it wasn't great, and yet the rats and cockroaches kept coming back. One lonely day, Otto had a breakthrough in the shower. He was done with moping around. He impulsively quit his job and made plans for university. But first, he was going to Sulani. If anyone needs a holiday, it was this guy. Otto hadn't been in Sulani long before he met the beautiful mermaid Aurora. The first time he saw her by the waterfall, he was stunned. They were soon inseparable and in love. Otto took Aurora to the beach where they first met, and he proposed to her under the same stars they had both wished on before meeting. He got down on one knee and pulled out, not only a ring, but some mermaidic kelp. He told Aurora that he would eat the kelp and turn into a mermaid so they could live out the rest of their lives together. Aurora, stunned, accepted his proposal and pulled out the mermaidic kelp she had been saving to turn herself human for Otto. The others' willingness to change and adapt really showed how much they cared for each other. but they agreed neither should have to change so drastically, and to love each other for who they are, as themselves. Otto had known about the issues affecting the mermaids in Sulani, but until he spent time with Aurora, he just didn't realise how bad they were. The land grabs had taken so much from the mermaids, and they had polluted the waters with their factories and destroyed the mermaids' homes. He joined her and her friends in protest on the beach, made sure to vote every week in the NAPs, and decided he would study to become a conservationist. When Otto told his parents about Aurora, they reacted even worse than he feared. They made no secret of how they felt about Aurora. Some humans had taken an increasingly intolerant stance towards mermaids, which had been developing over the past few decades. Otto was devastated, but he was more worried for Aurora, who had been looking forward to becoming a part of a family after losing hers many years ago. They had each other, and nothing would stop them. The wedding was everything they'd ever dreamed of, for everyone. But what really made it special was Otto's parents, who had opened up their hearts and apologised to both Otto and Aurora. They still had a lot to learn, but they were here, and willing. This is Otto and Aurora's wedding destination story, but they have so many more yet to come.
This video is a lesson in how to not do music in videos. It is a lovely story, maybe read a bit fast for my liking, because I feel like without enough pronunciation, fluctuation in your timbre, it's hard to actually get a feel for it, but the music just gave the feeling of horror. And the more into the video it went, the point where it reached the wedding, it like reached peak horror note. And yeah, it creeps up on you because you understand that you're watching something sweet, but it just have this really creepy vibe. So if you ever went for it, you did a really good job there. Otherwise, very sweet story. Nice that their parents have accepted them too, just like in the previous story with the same-sex couple. Quite a nice hint at the tiny baby there. I feel like there was enough plot that you could have cut down the plot in order to accentuate parts of the plot more, such as the fact that they have decided to stay who they are, or that his parents didn't like the fact that she was a mermaid, or the fact that he has become conservationist to fight for mermaids' rights. I feel like one of these or two of these would have been enough, and that would have left you with a lot more time to flesh out the story and maybe read slower. Otherwise, great story. I hope that people that saw it here will like it too, and if you do, guys, please go and leave these people a comment, because it's very, very hard to be seen when you make a machinima for The Sims 4. Next up is SilkenSims with Blue Moon Histories. New Beginnings.
You look beautiful.
You're looking pretty good yourself, Dad. I love you so much.
I love you so much, Jilly.
Friends, we are gathered here today to celebrate the joyous merging of these two people. Who gives this mage to be married here today?
That would be me.
Do you, Jacques Springs, take Jaden Singh as your partner in this realm and the next, forsaking all others, binding your magic one to the other so long as there's breath in your body?
I didn't think Dad would ever fall in love again. When my mother died, it's like a part of him passed away with her. And then he met Jacques.
Oui, absolument. Yes, I do.
It was love at first sight. It was like my father came alive again.
Do you, Jaden Singh, take Jacques Springs as your partner in this realm and the next, forsaking all others, binding your magic one to the other, so long as there's breath in your body?
Within no time, we'd become a family.
I do.
I don't know where this is gonna go.
Then in the light of the goddess, and before those gathered here today, I bless this union.
Laura? Huh.
But it's a pretty great start.
Now, that is a story that's a lot more fitting for the 3 minutes just limit imposed by the Sims people. There were a few twists. First, that it's the dad's wedding. Secondly, that they're magicians. Incredibly well shot. Voice acted by 3 different people by the sounds of it. That's like the first project with more than one person involved that I saw. Which is stunning. It's fantastic. It really is. I have absolutely no complaints about this. It is beautiful. The scene is beautiful. The story is slow-paced enough to fit exactly into 3 minutes. The voice work is not rushed. And you even had multiple voice actors. And you have flashback scenes to her growing up with the father and their relationship. And it's very sweet. It is very sweet. The next is Sim Michelle, Never Too Late. Everyone has these like super fancy intros.
Joy and I fight over everything. We met in debate club in college and never stopped debating. We've been together 30 years, arguing, making up, and in our spare time, running our small farm. Most of our spirited discussions are about little things, but our latest debate has been a pretty big one. Should we get married? Joy says we couldn't get married until 5 years ago, and we've been doing just fine. But I say we're getting older, and I want us to have the rights of any married couple, which gets her ranting, rightfully. And I love her for her ranting. She is the most passionate person I know. I always wanted to get married by the beach, even as a little girl, even when I wanted to marry one of my dolls. But now with the pandemic, we don't even have the option. It's just us. Joy has asthma and I have high blood pressure and we're on the farm and that's that. I want to call you my wife, I tell Joy. She says that I'm the only woman she'll ever love. And then she says, I don't want a beach. I don't want anything like that. I want right here. I want our sunflowers and our barn and wait, I say. You want to get married? She throws up her hands. I want you, Joy says. And it wouldn't be that big a change, would it? No, I say, it wouldn't. And I don't need a beach. Do I have to get down on one knee? She asks, and I answer, no, honey, you don't. We're good.
You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till
And you know what? Things haven't changed. Not that much. We're still weeding and gardening every day. We fight all the time. We make up just fine. When we called our friends to tell them we got married, we joked that we had a destination wedding, rustic chic. Where? They ask. And we say, just a little place, but the best one in the whole world.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day.
Aww. Oh, that was really sweet. It's the first story that I'm seeing that incorporates actual old people, and it's so sweet because they have so much baggage and so much memories, and they involved real world. They put in the pandemic, they put in the right to get married for gay people, and honestly, it doesn't come off as too current, it doesn't come off as too preachy, it comes off as really, really sweet. Oh, that was an emotional one. That was a nice one. I love the fact that they said rustic chic, which is like one of the wedding destination themes. You outright like mention it inside the video as a joke. That was absolutely beautiful. More than 64 people deserve to see that. Come on. Girl with the Plumbob tattoo up next with Siren's Call. A love story.
Once upon a time, a young woman came across something extraordinary in the sea. The next day, she sang back to the magical creature, not expecting she would be heard.
Sorry, her face is a tiny bit dead. I know that the Sims can't really do very good expressions, but still.
Her father didn't approve. But night after night, moon after moon, the human and mermaid would sing to each other and fall deeper and deeper in love. Until one fateful night, when her father had enough. Not understanding his daughter, he kidnapped her to try to keep her from the sea. But love persevered. It was a festive underwater wedding, and though the entire Mer Kingdom attended, when Lily kissed Indigo, her beautiful bride, it was like they were the only two hearts in the ocean.
It's a very well done story. Nice voice acting. I'm wondering if that singing was actually somebody singing or whether that was a soundbite. If that was their singing, then they have a beautiful voice. I would say if you can go around your story without using unconventional transportation items, such as horses, which are not in the game, hence why they're looking kinda janky, go for it. Because once again, they end up... I'm gonna assume that they actually blown up a horse or either modded in like a fake horse, which is why that movement looked really wrong. It didn't occur to me to actually do still shots with camera turning, which is what they did for the wedding shot, which looked really nice. And I'm not too sure how the main character has become a mermaid, or whether she was a mermaid all that time, all along. She was just never allowed into the water. The kidnapping by her father was a tiny bit funny as well, because the father grabs her by the leg and drags her out of the bed, and that's it. And then it's just like, now that you're awake, you're coming with me, sort of thing, which just looks a bit funny. I wonder if there's actual poses to make a sim carry another sim, because that would have gone off better. But considering what they were working with, which is a game that's very hard to work with, that is a fantastic job. That is an absolutely fantastic job. Moving on to Caffeinated Sims from pre-K to EA.
Welcome to Brockville, a small town in Canada along the river. There's not
Canada?
much around but farm animals, but I hope to one day own a farm of my own. That's me in the jean dress. I met Dylan on my first day of preschool when I was 5 years old. He was one of the first friends I ever made. Living out in the country didn't give me many neighbors, so school was always my favorite place to go. I got to see my friends, and well, Dylan, of course. We played on the playground, and we soon became best friends. We spent many birthdays together and watched each other grow from toddlers to children. He knew everything about me, and he was still the first person I wanted to see every day at school. I didn't get along with many kids on the playground, but Dylan always made sure that I never felt left out. He'd even sit with me in homeroom and computer class. Back in grade 6, he was actually my first ever slow dance. I'll never forget how happy he made me that day. But we never let things get awkward between us. We stayed friends for a long time after that, even through our teenage years. He made growing up easy. We even chose the same high school. But with growing up, birthday parties soon turned into keg parties, and a real relationship started blossoming. We'd stay up late texting. We went to the movies with our friends. Pretty soon, even they could see we were getting closer, though it's not like we were trying to hide it. But they were happy for us. We still spent time together as a group, as well as alone on our first date. And our first kiss. And eventually, our first sleepover. We made it through high school together and got to watch each other graduate with all of our closest friends. But our journey was only just beginning. It wasn't long after we rented our first apartment and took on a new addition. And then a second. We made all of my dreams come true, even on the day of our wedding. We got married on a farm of our own and celebrated with all of our closest friends from school. We spent the night dancing and laughing in the barn with our friends, our dogs, and all of the memories we've made together. I finally got the dream wedding I've always wanted. But most importantly, I finally found my true destination.
Aww, there's like real photos as well. I have a feeling that she recreated a real life story here. I am very impressed that she modded in a full pre-K, that she modded in a full school, because normally you can't have these things in game. Come on, EA, your game is very, very, very restrictive. This is just a very heartwarming story, and I hope that life turns out for the person that posted this video as good as life has turned out for people in the video, because there hasn't been any conflict or anything. It's just been a slow, happy growing up story that culminated and her marrying one of the first friends, really, probably, if not the first friend that she ever had, which is amazing. It's very sweet. The last story for today is from Chesterqueijo. Chesterqueijo. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, if you ever see this. What happens in springs stays in springs.
Destination Oasis Springs. Mila and Josh have saved up all month for this trip. Their first stop, the Phalange Casino. Here, they can try their luck on the slot machines or with a game of blackjack. If lucky enough, they might even get some of those simoleons back. If not, well, what happens in springs stays in springs. Wait, did I just hear discounts on the juice bar?
That was a very unique twist on what happens in springs stays in springs, which is a twist on what happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. I did not expect that. That was quite quirky and surprising. But that would be it for the entries that Mirta has found on Twitter. Next episode, when we do this, we are gonna be taking a look at just from YouTube search. And in total, Mirta will have watched and shown 27 separate machinimas made in The Sims 4 for Destination Wedding Challenge, which is just gonna be the tip of the iceberg of how many were produced in total. It is very unfair that there's only one place that you can take, and therefore EA will only showcase one person on their website, because there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entries, and if we had a place to just browse them, that would have been so nice. But unfortunately, EA being EA, they just didn't care about it. Thank you for watching if you're still here. Make sure to visit your favorite ones and leave a comment for the creator, leave a view for the creator, leave a like for the creator, because they definitely deserve it. It's their creations. I am just here to showcase them to you. And see you the next time. Toodaloo.